why is it not an easy fit to take over a program like Alabama? I try to tell people they have yet to replace Pete Carroll here on the West Coast at SC. Those guys are just not, they don't fall off trees, AJ. Like, Nick don't fall off trees. Bill Belichick don't fall off trees. You can argue Tom Brady left, so did Belichick, and New England hasn't replaced it, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you want to say. At the end of the day, the guy went to 9 Super Bowls, won 7. I just don't, or 6. I don't know why that is, but I want to get your perspective straight from the horse's mouth who played in that environment in Tuscaloosa. How is it a different place to coach, especially replacing the legend Nick Saban? Why has this been a struggle so far for DeBoer?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Tyler Siskey, who, he was my high school coach and ended up being a great recruiter and great coach in college for Ole Miss and then us at Alabama and doing his podcast. And he kind of hit the nail on the head when he said, the issue isn't we're so quick as a society to jump on, oh, well, it's the coach's fault. And I started thinking about it, I'm like, damn, you're actually right. And speaking some truth here, because when you look at social media or you look at people, everything is, oh, well, the coach doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Well, do we think that the coach at Alabama got hired because he doesn't know how to coach?
Right.
Like, well, what world are we in? No, they went out and got a guy that knows how to coach, knows how to win, has won at every place he's been. At what point do we start putting it back on the kids to where, hey, the kids aren't focused. They aren't doing what they're coached to do. Like, we're not getting, you watch the Florida State game, we're not getting out schemed. Like, there's not dudes running butt ass naked, wide ass open down the field. It's just dudes not being in the right position on run fits or not in the right gaps in the rush lanes and keeping containment. Or we're not passing off TEs in different games up front when they're only rushing forward. Like that's the issue. It's not so much of, just us not knowing how to coach. My biggest thing with Alabama fans right now is you can't put everything on DeBoer. DeBoer's a great man. But you knew his demeanor when you hired him. Like hopefully we did our research as a school and as a committee to where we knew his demeanor, that he was a relaxed. He's different. He's night and day from Saban, right? We just got to find a way to where we get the kids start playing with a commitment of excellence and standard that we set back when I was there. And that's been the standard for all the teams after us. And that's the way the kids have played. And right now we got to find those dogs. It's, it just hasn't worked for whatever reason, but, I've talked to multiple players since the game on Saturday that are there right now. And they keep telling me it's going to be addressed. It's been addressed. It's going to get fixed. So we'll see. My biggest thing is I don't care who you play. And everybody talks about, oh, well, they're playing Louisiana Monroe this week. A faceless opponent. Who gives a shit who you play? Yep. Go out and do your job to the ability that you can and do it how you're supposed to do and do that week in and week out. And if you do that, we have enough talent. Hell, it's not like we're not recruiting the right players to come play. It's just they're not committed to doing that right now. They're worried about other things, and we got to get back to that standard.
So just real quick before Smitty dives in, there's a take, number 18, the white backer safety kid. Hubbard that didn't chase down the play or kind of looked lackluster chasing it down when he broke through the line of scrimmage. Then there's a kid, all the social media things you just alluded to. Smitty talks about all the time. They could take a clip and show it, and it looks like this guy was out there with the headset on and his earbuds playing in the damn game. So warm up, they show a tackle kick step, and he's got his phone in his hand.
Caden Proctor.
All these things they're showing. How serious is that? Would it happen with Saban? Would it be addressed before it even happened, like in a warm-up situation? Are those things that are glaring that need to be addressed? Or is this DeBoer, and he's a player's coach in that aspect, and that's who he is? Because I respect any head guy that does it his way. At the end of the day, the guy in this chair is the one that's going to be critiqued at the end of the day for wins and losses. Not Smitty as the assistant, not AJ as the assistant, not anybody else. Falls on him, so he has to do it his way, what his gut says also. Right. So I have no issue with the way he does it. But at the end of the day, who cares if you win? Everyone cares if you lose. So where are you at with all the things that you see on social media and the hoopla from all the melodramatics?
Yeah, listen, there's different ways to skin a cat. And I've been a part of different staffs where I go from Coach Saban in college to Coach Marvin Lewis in Cincinnati. It was night and day difference, right? Like Marv was a relaxed guy, players coach, kind of let you, I remember going out to my first day at practice in Cincinnati, and I'm like, hey, what do we wear? Because at Alabama, you wore the same shit. Everybody looked the same. Like you couldn't wear wristbands. You couldn't wear earrings and chains and shit. And then I go out to Cincinnati first day, and it's like dudes got on different color shorts. Shirts are different. I'm like, oh, shit, we can just wear whatever we want. Like, so it's like there's different there's different mindsets.
Teddy bear, you got teddy bears, huh?
Yeah, my thing is that I don't care so much for. Listen, you want to warm up pregame with headsets on.
Teddy bear.
Yeah, that's different. It is. It's different. I mean, we talked about it.
Avoiding it. Go ahead.
No, I mean, we talked about it last night. Like, I don't understand this day and age, and I love Ryan Williams. He's a great kid. He's from my area, but what I was disappointed in. Okay, and there's two kids on this. Or I say kids, but two men on this team that are from my area that I expected to be dogs and leaders for each side of the ball for Alabama. Ryan Williams on offense. I thought Ryan Williams, and I've said it multiple times. Other people have said it, come out and done interviews, but they don't want to call anybody out. I don't understand why we're in this day and age of not calling dudes out. Like, call them out. Hopefully, either it pisses him off and he plays better, or he doesn't know anything about it and he could care less, or he has an issue with me. Either way, hell, I just want him to play better because he's a better player than what he's shown. But Ryan Williams was non-existent in this game from a sense of they moved him around, tried to not just leave him outside so he doesn't get rolled coverage, so he doesn't get doubled at all times. They put him in the slot. He runs too high on his routes. I mean, he was running over routes, jogging, getting jammed by the nickel, having trouble getting over the linebackers and getting to certain windows. He looked slow. He did not look very good. So I challenge him to be better because not only he needs to play better, but he's that guy on offense that the team should be able to depend on. I mean, he wasn't even the best receiver out there. Jeremy Bernard was, and he was an absolute dog. So, and then the other one was Deontay Lawson. He's an All-American linebacker. I understand he's coming off an ACL tear last year, and I've went through that, and I understand, first game back, you're playing a little timid at times, but you've had enough time. You can't play timid. You're an All-American linebacker. You're the Mike linebacker for Alabama. You're supposed to be the top dog. I never in my life would have seen, C.J. Mosley, Dante Hightower, Rolando McClain playing that way to where three of those dudes, absolute dogs. And if shit would have been going bad, they would have found a way to fix it on the sideline to where they're getting in somebody's face and saying, hey, we're not playing up to our standard. We're going to fix it now. And I saw too much jogging and loafing from Deontay, and that's the disappointment for me. So hopefully, listen, those guys can fix this deal. Let's stay off fucking TikTok and carrying in animals to the games, stuffed animals.
I love it. One thing I want to say, though, before we kind of transition, though, and you kind of defended, DeBoer a little bit, which I understand. I like DeBoer too. Good coach, winning record, all that. But if you listen to everything you just listed, you talk about effort on the field, you talk about lows, you talk about setting the edge, you talk about gap setting, you talk about these are things to me that goes back to coaching and setting a tone in practice and in spring and in camp where it's like, no, like I respect my head coach so much to where like I'm not going to make that mistake. And like almost to a point where
fear of failure.
Yeah, fear of failure. Exactly what I was going to say. Like I'm sure you guys had such a fear of failure for Saban, not fear in the sense of like I'm scared of,
physically,
but just like you respect him so much where it's like I'm gonna do my fucking job. I might not win every single play as a D lineman. I'm gonna get beat sometimes. I'm gonna get double teams, but I'm gonna be in my spot. I'm gonna be in my gap. I'm gonna set the edge. Effort is something that even if you fuck up, you can always show effort. So those are things that I'm seeing, as you alluded to, where I just go back to coaching and again I just question like how much like attention to detail is he really putting on them? Is he being too much of their friend? Again, I don't know. I'm not there. These are just the questions that comes when you watch that performance. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. No, I mean, I completely understand. I'd ask you this. Listen, I've watched the seasons multiple times, but, you know, Coach JB on Netflix and him screaming at the D-line like, you know, we can't fill our fucking gaps. What's the issue? Like, why is he jogging, coach? Like, right. And I've also seen JB in practice run his team a 1,000 sprints, right? And coach them to sprint your fat ass to the ball. Like, right. So
start behind the line, finish through the line.
Right. There's only so much you can do. The issue is, and how I would spin it is there's no fear of the bench.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that's the issue. Is
why is that? The portal or money?
Portal, money. I think it's all of it. I think dudes have no fear of, I'm getting paid this. They ain't putting my ass on the bench. There's no fear of the bench. Hey, come here. Go sit your ass on the bench. You don't want to play and give the effort and the way we've coached and how you've shown in practice. And now we put your ass out on the field, and now you don't want to do it, go ahead, go take a seat. You can sit there for as long as you want until you start caring. We'll put you back on special teams, see if you start back that way, see if you earn your stripes again. We'll see if you do it in practice on every play. And then if you do, we'll slowly – and then if you show it, you'll go right back to the bench. All right? There's no fear of the bench anymore. When
AJ,
we were playing,
how hard is it – not to cut you off – how hard is that to do as a coach, though, when they can just – AJ McCarron cusses out the quarterback and he goes and enters the portal.
No, I mean, it's extremely tough, but it's to a sense of, do you think Coach Saban cared? I mean, hell, he'll lose, but he'll lose with the guys. I mean, I've heard you say it a ton on the show. I'll lose every game, but I'm gonna lose with the guys that I want to lose with, guys that I know that will give me the effort that we need, right? Yep. So, listen, and that's easy to say, hard to do, right? Because of the day and age we're in, because if you lose some games, hell, Alabama loses one game to start the year,
world's
everybody's calling for DeBoer to be fired with a $70 million buyout.
Yeah.
I mean, ain't nobody going to put up the money to go buy that contract out, right? But, I mean, it is an issue. But I think it's something that you got to be willing to, as a head coach, say, hey, if I get fired, at least I'll get fired with the dudes that are giving me full effort and playing the way I want to play rather than playing these dudes that are getting paid and don't really care.
Yeah, it's such a fine line now. I couldn't imagine coaching these youngsters now. Like, that's the problem. But you got to do it your way, though. And you got to do it comfortably in your environment the way you are. Like, DeBoer, I think, is out of his comfort zone trying to be himself in an unfamiliar territory. Like, he's in an unfamiliar territory trying to be who he is. Like, in Seattle, Washington, oh, fuck. That's what that city is. It's a whole nother ball game. Now in Alabama, it's like you walk on eggshells, your assholes pucker up. It's a little bit more serious here. Like, you're replacing a guy that's, Bear Bryant-esque. Like, this ain't no easy task. And I give him a lot of credit for taking the job, number one.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Number two, in this era, man, it's just a tough thing. He's going to be scrutinized. He's like John Wooden being replaced. He's replacing John Wooden in basketball. It's just it's a no-win situation, in my opinion, which is unfortunate for coaches. But at the end of the day, with these cell phones now, everything's going to be scrutinized, even magnified times 10. So I don't know. I don't wish to be in those shoes right now. So it is what it is. But great point.